Hey everybody, I'm Josh. I'm a franchise consultant, and my goal is for everybody on this call to own their own business. I just, I mean, if you look through the history, most of the time, like my last name's Sabo, it actually means like clothes maker. Most people back in the day had their own business, had their farm, had their thing, and I don't think that's really that much different these days. How many of you have been on, have heard me talk? I just want to see how many people out here are gonna hear repeats. Give
Yeah,
me a
throw
thumbs
one in the
up or
chat
something.
if you've heard Josh before.
Lauren Berger's in the house. Hello, Krishna. What's up, Roy? Roy Lopez was the one who brought me in to begin with. Deandra, Carrie, Colby.
Looks
Lots of
like we
good.
have a
All
lot
right.
of old faces in.
Very cool. Well, I'm really glad to be here. I want to first thank Ernest, Jordy, Tyler, and now Kylie. Is that how you
Yep.
pronounce your name?
Yeah, Kylie.
Okay. I haven't met you yet, so it's really good to meet you.
Yeah, you
So
too.
I'm a kind of what do you call it? A serial entrepreneur. I've had businesses my whole life. I graduated college with a degree to go in the nonprofit realm, and as anybody in here understands, nonprofit don't pay very well. And my wife came into this marriage with $136,000 of college debt. And so I was a part-time nonprofit worker making, I think it was $40,000 a year, and monthly payments for that loan alone were 2,500 bucks. So I had to figure some stuff out. I got into entrepreneurship out of necessity instead of desire. Wish it would have been the other way around. But with flipping my own houses, having rentals, starting and selling businesses, we were able to pay that off within 5 years, and I just haven't been able to stop. So now I have a huge passion to help people get into business. So I've done a lot of business consulting throughout the years, and having a business from scratch is hard. There's a 25% success rate with owning your own business, starting it from scratch, and a lot of businesses won't make a profit for 5 years. So I got into franchise and learning that, man, if I would have known about any of these brands out of high school, I would have just bought that and I would have been retired at 25. And retired to me, it means something different. If a business is up and running and passive, I'm retired. If I don't need to be there and it's making me enough money, I'm retired. So I'm partnered with over 700 different franchise brands, almost 800 now. And so my goal is to connect with you guys. You'll see uh, Kylie, do you have my link?
Yeah, I can drop it in your LinkedIn
Okay.
in the chat real quick.
Yeah, if you could drop that in my
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Um, so a lot of people will. Oh, you've got my LinkedIn already?
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. There it is.
Perfect. So I'll go ahead and
I'll also drop the franchise guys.
all right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put my scheduler in there too. I have a schedule specifically for you guys. But basically, I'd like to set up a one-on-one with you. Just 20 minutes, learn more about you, learn more about your goals, and then I can trim those options down to four or five. Uh, Colby and everybody else on here knows I won't be able to keep it to four or five. I get too excited, and I'm like, hey, they might be interested in seven or eight. Um, but you can kind of look at me like I'm a real estate agent, but for franchises. If I show you the first round of four or five, and you like the business model, but you don't like the kitchen, I've got 700 other brands to show you. But this whole process is free for you. You don't have to pay me anything if you find a franchise that you like, um, on your own, or you find it through me. It's not going to cost you anything extra. So there's a million reasons why I prefer franchising over starting your own business. Is one, the income comes a lot faster, especially in the home services space, and we'll go over all that in a little bit here. But when you buy a franchise, and I like to start too with saying I have franchise partnerships that start at around $5,000 for you guys. Just so you're aware, it's not, you don't have to be jumping into a McDonald's. You don't have to have multi-millions of dollars to start building an empire. But franchising has a 90% success rate. They are there to make sure you succeed. They have to have you succeed. If if you don't succeed, then that's going to be a mark on the franchisor, and they might not sell any more franchises in the future. So they have to make sure you succeed. Um, I mean, there's a billion powerful things about having a model, but essentially a franchise is a system of business, and they'll give you the system. Honestly, the brand doesn't even make a really big difference. Um, it doesn't need to be a McDonald's. It doesn't need to have, it doesn't have to be a Chick-fil-A. But what matters is the systems. And that's why franchises love military so much. They love military. You'll see if you meet with me and we go through it, some of these discounts are up to 30% off just to get military in there. Because what they're looking for is people who can manage a team, build a team, and follow systems. That's like the big piece there. If you can manage a team, build a team, and follow systems, the likelihood of you being successful in franchising is massive, right? So they're offering massive discounts for you because they want you in there. They know you're going to be successful. Their top franchisees are military folks. So I hate doing these calls because I feel like I'm talking to myself. So if you can, for my ego, just put thumbs up if I say something that you like, or give me a hand raise so I can answer some questions. But yeah, so oh, thanks, Todd. I appreciate that. So there's any industry you can think of, there's a franchise for it. From senior care and even food. I don't know if you knew this. I don't know if there's any Air Force folks in here, but we've even got a brand that details airplanes. So if that's something you're still passionate about. But one thing I need to make sure you know is that franchises don't care if you know or are skilled in a certain business. They don't need you to be a licensed electrician to be in an electrical franchise. They just need to know that you can manage the team that does, and that they can hire, or that you can hire people that do. And most franchises, they're going to help you hire. They're going to help you recruit, and they're going to help you train. But yeah, so very powerful stuff. If I would have known about this a lot earlier on, I would have had a few successful businesses instead of just the few that I have and the ones that didn't succeed. Another part of this thing is that I've had a lot of business partners, and I want to apologize. I don't know if you can tell, but I am not feeling great. My family's been sick the past month, and I'm always the last one to get it. So I'm still working on getting all this figured out. But so today I'm gonna show you a couple brands as well, just to get those things in your minds. But go ahead and write down. So if you're going to be setting up calls with me, keep in mind some of the brands that I've talked about, some of the things that I've discussed, so that you can come into the call and say, "Hey, these are some that I was interested in," and we'll let you know. Excuse me. So let's go through the process. Essentially, you'll meet with me, 20 minutes. I'll trim down options. I'll ask you a lot of questions about yourself, but the main thing is I'll take you through three recession resistant, I can't say proof, different industries, right? So one industry is going to be senior care. Guys, the baby boomer generation is the biggest generation in the history of America, and they're retiring and they're getting old. I think it was Forbes magazine that said getting into investing in senior care is a lot like investing in cryptocurrency early. Like if you're already in the business and then you get this huge wave of 2 decades worth of people, there's a lot of money there and you get to help a lot of people. I actually had a client once say, "I just feel bad making money off of helping people." I said, "So you're not going to do it because you're going to be making money off of helping people. But what about all the people that you're not going to help because you're afraid of making money off those people?" Isn't that such a strange mindset? I said, "Make as much money as you can and then give it all to your church, give it all to a nonprofit. I don't care." But that's just such a silly thing. But one thing, I'm a mindset coach as well. I don't know if you've seen this. I've got perspective tattooed here, but a lot of times when you go through a franchise, you're going to get those things that just keep your mind from moving forward, right? What you think is how you're going to feel. How you feel is how you're going to act. So if you think, oh, franchises aren't for me, then you're going to feel like that's not for you. And then you're not going to book a call with me and potentially find this perfect situation for the rest of your future in a business to hand down from generations to generations. If you think, I don't know if I can be a a franchisee, you're going to feel like you can't be, and you're not going to act on it, which means you're not going to do anything about it, and you might be missing out on a massive opportunity for yourself. Is all this making sense? Am I talking in rounds? Okay.
Making sense to me.
So perfect. Thanks, Lauren. And Joel. Hey, Joel Sterling's in. Cool. So yeah, we'll go through. So senior care is going to be a massive one. There's a lot of different business models. The main business model is going to be in-home, non-medical senior care. So essentially, you'll be an agency that hires caretakers to do non-medical care at people's individual homes, right? Each territory for a franchise. So franchises most of the time will go based off territory. Like you own this 150,000 population and the average will be $1 million in gross sales per year. That's gross sales. So that's a huge thing, but a lot of people don't really want to be hiring people, things like that. But most people will come in and be like, hey, I love helping seniors, I love helping others. Let's go ahead and help these caretakers, and let's also help these elderly folks get some get going in their lives. When people live at their personal home, they are going to live on average of 4 years longer than if you send them to what my grandma calls if you send them to the big house or move an elderly person. So it's a very, very powerful way to have purpose and to make good money, and then to expand your territories and help other people. It's very powerful stuff. So another business model within senior care is going to be I'll just Hallmark Home Care is a brand that I present or that I represent. Essentially, you're getting rid of that middleman, helping the seniors save money, and then paying caretakers more. So you're getting high quality caretakers, and then you're sending them and matchmaking with seniors. The numbers on this are huge. The average, and this is mostly remote as well. The average Hallmark franchisee is going to be making around $1 million in gross sales per year, which is going to be around 250,000 net profit every year. If I ever present it, or if I ever show you this brand in their summary sheet, they say, yeah, and if you want to make $2 million, you'll have to hire somebody. It's just the money that's in franchising is just crazy. Yeah, if you want to make an extra million, go ahead. If you have a spouse that wants to get into something too, one other thing, first of all, military, top of the line franchisees. The other one would be married couples, people who have one household to pay for. And if you get two people in one franchise, start exploding that, like for instance, Hallmark Home Care, two people, you're looking at potential $2 million in gross sales, which could be around $450,000 household income. It's insane out there. I'm not saying franchising is easy. It's hard work, but it's easy in the sense of, hey, here's the steps you need to take. Month 3, you should be at this level. So then you're going to have to hire this person. At month 6, you're going to be at this level, and then you're going to have to do this. But with a 90% success rate, that's better than job security right now. I don't know if anybody out here is having a hard time finding a job, or you're like me and I'm never going to work for somebody else ever again in my life. I just can't physically bring myself to do that. And with your leadership potential and your ability to work with teams, it just makes sense. So the second industry, actually, no, I want to talk about one more business model within senior care, and that's going to be assisted living. So I've had a few rentals in my time, and most of them were doing like 500 net profit per month. That's it. You have to have a ton of houses to be able to, I'd have to have a ton of houses to be able to be retired in that sense. But let's say you buy a franchise that's going to be an assisted living, right? Let's just say you have 4 bedrooms in a house and you can afford to put 2 people in each one of those bedrooms. Each one of those elderly people is going to be paying from $6,000 to $15,000 per month to live in your home and to get care from your caretakers. Let's just do the math. Let's just say you have it maxed out, 8 people at $15,000 a month. That's $120,000 per month gross revenue. Are you seeing where this is going? With my one property, I was doing $500 a month net profit. With something like this, it's going to be thousands and thousands. Okay. There's a location. I have to be careful with what I say. I'm not allowed to make potential earnings claims, and I have to be careful with, but there's a house in a certain state somewhere that is doing around $350,000 net profit per year. And they've got that thing on autopilot, which means they just check the numbers every now and then and check in on their general manager. Powerful stuff. Um, so if you've ever been interested in real estate investing and also want to pair that with one of the greatest, like most profitable industries that are going to be out there, senior care, there you go. You might already have a couple rentals. I got a couple folks from Seven Eagle who have already got a couple rentals who are wanting to convert that. But the franchise will help you with the licensing. They'll help you pick the house. They'll help you outfit the house so it's all up to date. Is anybody bored with senior care yet and want me to move to the next industry that I like?
But it looks like Rob might have a question on senior care, so let him ask his question real quick
Oh,
before we
very
move
cool.
on.
Hey,
Rob, go
Rob, sorry.
ahead.
I just see the hand. Rob Foley, you're muted. Oh, he got rid of his hand. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that every now and again. It raises my hand for no reason. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I think we're good to move on,
Katie.
Josh.
Katie's in here. Katie says that she recommends hanging out with me. So,
Woohoo!
okay. All right. Second industry. This is going to be the industry that's going to make you the most money the fastest, and potentially the most money, depending on how you run it. These are the ones that I call job replacing. These are the ones that can make you a full-time living your first year. So it would be home services. So, electrical, plumbing, things
Mhm.
like that. I just got a new brand that I'm really pumped about, but it's fence building. The amount of money you can make just by getting people to Uncle Ethereum. John, you're really into Ethereum right now? All right. Might want to be invested in gold right now. Just kidding. All right. Let's talk about the industry. Home services. So the ones that I like are going to be your guy in a truck business model. Person in a truck, essentially no overhead when it comes to having to have a building. It's home based. You hire somebody to do the work. But the ones that I like are the less skilled labor. I'm not sure how many licensed electricians we're going to have in the next 10, 20 years. With the next generations, I know that we've been pushing trades a lot, but um, I'd hate for someone to be in a situation where they can't find a licensed electrician. But the ones that I like would be, I'll show you a couple of these in a little bit. But one would be like Brothers That Just Do Gutters is one of my favorites right now. Essentially, you're hiring people to do anything. Well, yeah, you tell me. What do you think Brothers That Just Do Gutters does? Everything gutters, cleaning gutters, fixing gutters, installing gutters. But their process is so powerful. And yeah, I don't know. I could go on and on about Brothers Gutters. Another one would be Screen Mobile. Essentially, you're fixing screens. And when you have a business like this that's so niched down, you're going to have wild success. And anytime someone searches fix my screen or my Windows screen on Google, you're going to be the one that's at the top. But yeah, let's go through some of these after I go through the industries. All right. So that's home services, guy in a truck, very powerful stuff. Another industry would be the pets industry, right? So people are going to be paying for their parents. That would be senior care. People are going to be paying for flooding in their basement and homes, and they're also going to be paying for their pets. COVID, I think we doubled the amount of dogs in people's homes during COVID.
Wow,
Um,
that's crazy.
I don't know if that's an actual statistic, but we bought a dog,
You just
senior
throwing
pet
it out
care.
there.
Arnold says senior pet care. Well, that would be Zoom and grooming, right? That's the example. You'd essentially come in and hire a mobile groomer, start sending them out to people's homes, and they actually work with their claim to fame is two things. They're careful enough to be working with elderly pets, and their other claim to fame is that they can get you all booked out your first month right when you get your van to start your business. So yeah, just pets are awesome. There's also, Zoom and grooming. There's also Zoom Room if you're into, doggy daycare, things like that. But there's just so many different business models within each one of these industries. Another industry is food. Most of the big food brands, they want you to have years of experience in food. But the example that I like to give would be Pure Green smoothies. My buddy Kevin owns all the tropical smoothies in the thumb of Michigan. He wound up just coming in. He's like, I'm just going to buy out every territory available, and I'm just going to start building these locations as I go. So he bought out, I think it was 20 different territories, all the way up through the thumb of Michigan, and he's got, I think, 12 locations. He's got 500 employees and only knows 4 of them. Hired a general manager that manages the entire thumb, and he actually has a full-time job in restoration just because he wants to. Very one of those guys that just loves being involved in the community too. But now he's going to be buying Shaq's franchise, Big Chicken. So now he's doing that. So be aware, buying franchises is very addictive. I don't know if anybody else here has tattoos, but I always relate it to tattoos. Once you get one, it's like, ooh, man, I could get another. All right, well, let's look into this one. But franchising is the same way. After your first year, you start seeing the success, you start seeing the money rolling in. And it's like, all right, let's go ahead and buy another brand, or let's go ahead and buy some more territories. But it's empire building. It's kind of addictive. So Pure Green Smoothie would be the example that I like to give. A lot of restaurants, if you know anybody in the restaurant business who's maybe even started from scratch or even has a franchise, they might still be owners and still be owner operators after years and years of being in there. Downtown, we have a restaurant, Maria's. The owner's been in there every single day for 15 years. But with something like Pure Green Smoothie, you've got they're they're expecting you to have at least 3 months in the store to build it, to become a pro at that location, and continue to build other locations. Hire the GM, and now you're semi-passive, semi-absentee. But essentially, Pure Green Smoothies is going to be your superfood smoothies, cold pressed juices, and acai bowls. So it's super basic. They have a super streamlined model. I don't know if you've been to a restaurant and you've seen like 100 things on the menu, and you're like, I don't know if they can do any of these good. It's like, so with something like Pure Green, it's so basic, and people come, and it's a very powerful model. In 2021, their average store was doing around $720,000 in gross sales. Now it's at $950,000 per location in gross sales. So they're already just pumping out there and doing really great. I got to turn off the comments. I'm so distracted. It's the
I get really
ADHD.
distracted too.
So let me go ahead and throw the links in there again. So if anybody wants to book a call or connect with me on LinkedIn, you're good to go. So those would be some industries that I recommend looking into, more or less, COVID resistant, recession resistant, but lots of incredible industries. If you're into health and wellness, there's some awesome brands out there. You know what? Let's go ahead and can I share my screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and do that. I know everybody's just super pumped to see what we've got here.
Pictures
Everybody
always
can
help.
see that?
Yep.
All righty. I can't see my screen on this, but I can see my screen here. Franchise brands. This is just to give you an idea what exists out there. All right, click there. Boom. Yep, here's the Screen Mobile, repairing windows and door screens for homeowners. If you're in Florida, this is going to be a winner. I don't know anybody with a pool who doesn't have a whole screened in back porch. They do, they do solar shading. They do overhangs. It's amazing. This is your quote guy in a truck. There's no national competition. The only competition there you're going to see is, the mom and pop shops or the handy guy that kind of does screens on the side. But let's face it, the construction companies, things like that, they don't really want to do any screens. They want to stick building houses. They're a member of the Franchise 500 Hall of Fame, and no experience needed. You don't need to know anything about screens to own a franchise. You just need to know how to manage teams, build teams, and follow their systems. End Zone Sports. This is one of my. If you're into sports at all and you like kids, the cost of entry is super low and the potential income is super high. So there's three revenue streams here, but most of the high earners are actually sticking with just one. If you know more about sports than a preschooler, then you can do this business. Essentially, if you want it to be completely passive, and you have your own, if you have a job or full-time job or even a business, you can start this just on the side. Essentially, let's just say you want to be owner operator. You come in and you start going to preschools and teaching them about sports. That's it. You're teaching them about basketball, and each parent's going to be paying from $50 to $60 a month to teach their kid about basketball. And you're like, okay, now that I'm doing 1,000, 2,000 a month, let's go ahead and teach football to those same schools, to those same kids. All right, let's go ahead and do volleyball. Let's go ahead and let's do ice skating. I don't know. I don't care. It's just a powerful model. There's some of their top leading quartile franchisees are doing around $800,000 to $900,000 a year just working with preschoolers in their schools in their area. The profit margins are massive, so from 30 to 70% profit margins. There's no overhead because, well, there's low overhead. You're not owning a building. You're using schools. You're using the Parks and Rec department. You're using other people's gyms, other people's fields for football camps, things like that. So if you wanted to do this your whole thing, the whole thing by yourself, you're looking at 50 to 70% profit margins on, if you wanted to go all in and go all out of $800,000, that's a lot of money. And if you wanted just to hire out coaches right away, that's a lot of passive income. They've got their youth sports as well. So it's going to be, I think, 2nd to 5th grade. You got your adult leagues. How many of you are paying to play flag football and adult flag football or kickball leagues? That's a thing, and people are doing it. People are paying good money as adults to go continue to play sports and have fun. If there is competition, let's just say this, if there is a sports league in your area and you're like, hey, I want to do end zone sports, and you're friends with them who own that sports league, just tell them you're doing this and they'll probably just partner with you because it's a very powerful business model. Franchise 500 ranked, what's that, 6 years in a row. Has anybody in here watched Shark Tank? I don't know if I can see thumbs anymore. My things changed, but Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, Kevin something. He's a big sponsor of this brand, and if you watch that show, you know that he doesn't invest in things that aren't going to make him money. But if you want to raise up the next generation to be a coach to a group of young people who want to raise up the next generation and make really good money doing it, this is an awesome opportunity. Hallmark Home Care, if you want to be in the senior industry, this is the one we talked about already. Senior care recruiting, matchmaking, $1 million average gross sales. So around $250,000 net profit. House Masters, if you're wanting to just do something basic and do home inspections, well, when I was buying houses, they were making $250 each inspection, and my inspector said, "Yeah, I got 4 more of these today." Guy's gonna make $1,000 a day just doing home inspections. It's awesome. These guys were founded in 1979. They're a neighborly brand, so it's a very powerful brand. Lots of incredibly support, no experience needed. Gym guys, if you're into fitness and you don't want to spend $1 million on a building, spend some more money or spend less money and buy a bunch of vans and do mobile personal training. They just opened up in Hungary. I think they have locations in Japan too. So they're going worldwide, doing very well. So essentially you would, you could be the person to go to people's homes, do mobile training, do offices, parks, corporate events, and go help people get in shape. I mean, anything from just regular working out, rubber band workouts to even boxing training. It really depends on who you bring in, but very powerful business model. It's the person in a truck business model. So low overhead, very powerful business. This is citywide. If you're into making a really lot of money and you have a good sales and management background, they're doing, a citywide franchisee will do around $8 million. Oh, I already have it here. We'll do around $8 million for one location. That would be one of the franchisees. I don't know who it is or where it is, so don't ask. But this is essentially you're going to be maintaining people's buildings. So I've got a couple people looking at New York locations, North Carolina, um, to just basically, hey, you need people to come in here and clean the carpets. So I'll go ahead and find the company that cleans carpets and I'll put them under contract. Okay, now your carpets are good. Okay, I'll go ahead and find someone to do the restrooms. Okay, boom, I've got that contract. That would be citywide facility solutions. So if you've got a strong sales and management background and want to make really great money, this is going to be one of your options. Pure Green, already talked about that. National brand. Oh, I didn't talk about the national brand part. So my buddy Kevin, who owns all the tropical smoothies, he goes to like Lions games for free. He knows the players. He knows, he goes to, all the state games. But I'm not sure if that's part of this, but they, with the 50 plus sports teams, that might be a thing where you get to be involved. Is anybody still interested in what I'm talking about? Give me a thumbs up, please. Next one. Mold medics, another person in a truck. If you want to go in and help people with mold testing, remediation, we actually had to have this at our house. My daughter has a rare disease, and so we had to get the house tested for mold. So we hired somebody to come in. We paid them a lot of good money to make sure that there wasn't any mold in the house. But this is a low investment, powerful business model. One technician, one truck, boom, you're done. Once you max out that territory with the one truck, you get another truck and you hire somebody else. Boom, continue to grow. World options. If you want something remote and you're in logistics, or even if you're not in logistics, this is a super basic business model from home. You're going to be managing small to medium-sized businesses, shipping and logistics. They offer, well, I'll just read through it. Yeah, proprietary software. They offer very exclusive rates. And you can do this from your computer wherever you are. This is one of those brands that wants you to hit it hard your first year. And then after year one, go semi-passive, hire some people to take over, and now you're passive. Okay, boom. This is cruise planners. A lot of people like cruise planners. This is usually $10,000 to $15,000, but because of the franchise discount, it's going to be around 5 to 6 for you. Imagine having a business that you can buy for $6,000 that can make you 6 figures a year from home. You're essentially going to be planning people's vacations. Cruise Planners is the top number one franchise in the vacation industry. Super low investment, home-based, huge returns. They'll actually pay for you to go on a couple of vacations a year just so you can tell your customers about it. This is a really fun one. I like that one. So yeah, keep in mind, hey, if any of these look nice to you, book a call and we can talk through it, and then let me know that was one. This is one of my favorite ones. Judgment Business Incubator. 80% of people who win lawsuits aren't paid, and judges are not going to make sure that those people get paid. They just make the judgment, and then you're all on your own. One of my rentals, someone came in drunk and busted out my front window because she thought her boyfriend was in my house. Had no idea who it was. Nobody did. Had to go to a court, and her lawyer was like, or I guess it was my lawyer. Someone came out, said, "Hey, this is what she owes you." I was like, "I don't care. I was just told I needed to be here." She goes, and he's just like, "Okay, yeah, most people don't pay, but judgment business, you could have access to very, very powerful information to be able to collect money from the debtors, to pay the little old granny who got taken advantage of by somebody who needs their money back, who needs to get paid." I just find this to be kind of like the justice business. If you lost, you owe. If you've wronged somebody, you owe. But yeah, you have the power to garnish people's wages. Get cryptocurrency for people. It's hard to talk about because it's like, I can't believe people can have access to this stuff. But through them, they're awesome. But yeah, no calls, no letters, no contacts. It's all online. It's all just making it happen. So you don't even have to talk to any bad people. Zoom and Groom, and if you want to be in the pet industry, this is one I talked about a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's over 400 vans in operation now, but very great business model. This would be your van. Very fun stuff. Smart Market Solutions, if you want to get into vending machines, this is also an option for you. This isn't a franchise, this is a biz op or a business opportunity. These vending machines are built off of AI. So if you have this in a business, they will download your app. When they open the door and take something out, that item is automatically thrown into their shopping cart. If they take that item and put it back, that item is removed from their shopping cart off their phone. After they put a couple things in and then they close the door, it's paid. Very, very cool stuff. But they'll help you find locations. They say it's like an hour a week's time per machine to fill them up. So very passive option, very fun brand, very cool people. If you're into goofy stuff, this is 3D scanning booth. Essentially, you take this trailer, go to events, and inside the trailer you see all these cameras and lights. It would do a 3D picture of you or your family or whatever, and then they would send you little figurines of yourself, a 3D printed figurine. Very fun, very cool. I always tell people, go buy a Brothers Gutters first and then think about this one second, because I'm not allowed to share how much these can make, but this one might be more of a long-term, more time investment. But go buy Brothers Gutters, make as much money as you can your first year, and then you can just buy a fleet of these and start sending them out everywhere. But this is a kind of a new one, very fun. And then the seals. This is a new brand. They don't have an item 19 yet, which so when you work with franchises, you're going to be getting an FDD, or a franchise disclosure document. It's heavily regulated by the government, and so they have to be honest with their numbers, or else they could get in a lot of trouble. So Seals hasn't been in business long enough to get their item 19. I think you have to be in business and show numbers for 2 years, but it is a franchise. But essentially, you're going to hire people to fix the gaskets and torn gaskets on refrigerators. I just talked to a client yesterday who's an executive chef about this brand. He said, yeah, we just hired a guy to do that. You have no idea how often those things rip and break, and it's against code. And it's, you're saving people money when those are fixed, because you're not leaking refrigeration and cold air out all the time. But yeah, if you've got restaurants, markets, hotels, country clubs, nursing homes, schools. So I'm not allowed to tell you how much they made, but the first franchisee, let's just say he's doing very, very well for himself his first year. But yeah, very simple business, strong unit economics. That basically is, proof that they've been making money this past year. Pretty low overhead, but I like this brand. Again, it's these niche brands that are always going to do well. Because ask yourself, who do I call if I have to fix a gasket on my refrigerator? Who do I call if I have to, get that piece? So yeah, there's the Seals. Kitchen Solvers. They just were named top 100 franchise for veterans. Very cool business model. Essentially, it's cabinet refacing and remodeling kitchens. Very basic, but their veteran discount is 50% off royalties for the first 6 months. Very powerful stuff here. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's the last one. Let's open it up for questions just to see what's going on here. I'll check the comments first just in case. But yeah, does anybody have any questions or thoughts?
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
had a
ahead and
question, Josh. What does that phone call look like with you? So if I'm interested in this, and I sign up for that phone call, what do we go over?
Yeah, one, I need to learn about you. I need to learn about what you're about, your skills, your management, those types of things. So we'll kind of just chat, and then I need to know about your goals. So learn about, hey, how much money do you want to be making in 2 years? Do you have a family? Does your family want to be involved in the business? And we'll talk through, those options that we kind of talked through a second ago, and that'll help me trim it down. And then second, we'll book a video call so I can share my screen with you, and we'll go through those certain brands in more detail. Because this whole process is discovery process. You should never feel, especially with me, you should never feel pressured. This whole thing is about learning what's out there, because most people think that, when they hear franchise, they think, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. But yeah, and then we'd set up another call. We'd go through in detail, most people will choose 2 or 3 to talk to the franchisor about, and then I'd set you up with the franchisor, and you get more answers to any of your questions, and then they take you through their discovery process while continuing to meet with me, just to keep telling me, hey, what do you like about this? What do you don't like about this? Help answer any concerns you might have that you might not have had with the franchisor. But franchisors have their own have a lot of their own models on how they go through that process. But yeah, any
Okay.
thoughts or questions?
Yeah, Chris, did you have a question? I saw your hand was raised.
Yeah, I did. Hey, Josh, how are you doing?
Hey, Chris, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Here, let me pin
Yeah, I'm
in.
driving right now. I'm gonna come back
Oh,
from an
gotcha.
appointment. I was gonna ask you though. I'd like to set up another meeting and pick your brain probably about like the cruise one because I know we haven't gone over that one yet.
Oh, which
Just
Chris
out of
is this?
curiosity. Prescott.
Oh, what's up, Chris? Yeah, let's go
Yeah,
over Cruise Planner. Absolutely. I'll make a note. How have you
yeah,
been?
sounds great. Pretty good.
Very cool. Yeah, I think we've got a call set up. Or maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna
we had
reach
another one
out.
set up. I think it was this week. I think. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good hearing from you. Yeah, I'll be reaching out December 1st, 2nd to go over more stuff.
Yeah, sounds great.
Cool.
Deandra, you have a
Deandra,
question?
Deandra, did you get my email about cruise planners?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you get my email?
Yes, I got your email about cruise
Good.
planners. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. So for the cruise planner thing, can you hire people for that, or is that like
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly on their
something
business
I have
model.
to do?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they'd want you to be running it for the first year or so, as most brands would. But yeah, you can hire that out, build a business off of it. Yeah, let me know if you wanna meet with them. I think that
Okay.
was
I'm
in
email
the
you.
email. Cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely super interested in that as well. I'll be hitting you up about the cruise planner.
Yeah. Super
Does
low
anybody-
investment.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? While they're raising their hands, Payne, go ahead.
I have one like normally the franchise like I saw about it's like restaurant like sometimes like you guys give the franchise and then like sometimes the vendor is taking your like your business running good and they take your business back or something like that. That problem. How you guys do you guys have it or no?
Can you say that one more time? They take your what?
So for the franchise, sometimes the vendor is giving some people to do a business. So the guy is like doing the business. Before the guy doing it's not very good, but when the guy is to the business is running very good and smooth. It's like over 1 year or 6 months, something like that. The vendor is to bet their franchise because the business is running over there or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a market or something like that.
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I think that would probably depend on each franchise and how they would work things. But yeah, you're gonna actually when we're on calls with me, you're gonna hear me say that a lot. I'm not exactly sure, or I'm not allowed to speak on that. That would be a good question for the franchisor. I see Jeffrey.
Yeah. Hey, John. Thanks for speaking with us this morning. I have a question because you mentioned gym guys over in Germany. I'm actually over in Europe and I plan on staying here. What would that actually look like? Is there any fluency in German requirements, or would a call be best to discuss particulars?
I mean, I'm sure that that'd be good to at least know how to speak a little.
Yeah. Okay. I do.
Yeah, there you go. So I went to China for 2 months. I did kind of like a year off kind of thing. I mean, I was fluent in the marketplace, but I wasn't fluent anywhere else. But I made my way around. So, I mean, I'm sure if you're fluent in business lingo and workout lingo, I think you'd be fine.
Fluent, I'd say that's a stretch, but I mean, yeah.
I'll give you 2 months and you could be fluent in the things that you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah.
Start working now.
Yeah. Set
Rachel,
up a
go
call.
ahead.
Rachel Markham.
Rachel?
Is that it? It's funny. I came in early and heard Jordy talking about the camera angle, how it needs
Yeah.
to be here. And I got mine way up there. I was like, oh man, he's talking about me.
I know mine's wrong too.
So my
Yeah.
camera angle is usually really down because I always have like a big blanket pulled up on me, and I never want people to see me snuggling up in my blanket because I'm freezing all the time. But that's my little cheat for y'all. So I just had a question. I wanted to see if I can hook my husband up with you about the home inspections. I don't really know much about that business. But I thought it would be interesting for him to do, at least as a cool gig. But I didn't know if there were any like specific certifications or if you knew anything about that.
That would depend on the state and that would depend on the brand. But yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorite ones to get into
Okay,
and help
cool.
people get into. Yeah.
I'll get him hooked up with you. Thanks.
Yeah.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, thanks for coming to talk with us. My question is I don't know if we need to schedule a call, which I'm actually looking at your calendar right now for next month. Like the franchise fees, liquid capital requirements, total investments, like just the money side.
Yeah. Hey, how much time do I have left, Kaylee?
You
Kylie?
have about 15 minutes.
All right, so financing. One, there are a million different ways. Well, I can't say a million. There are tons of different ways to get creative with financing. You're even able to use, if you have any TSP with investments, if you own your own home. I got started with my home equity. I'm sitting here walking on $150,000 in home equity, and that money's not making me any money. So I wound up pulling that, starting a business, and now we're all fine. It's just one of those deals. If you've got investments, there are some incredible investment opportunities. It's called like Rob's. Maybe I'll bring my franchise vendor next time too to kind of talk through this, but an insane amount of opportunity in that. So, I mean, they could even combine things. You don't have to have $1 million cash to do this. If you could have a credit score of 680 and above, and you can easily get an SBA loan. I can't say easily. I have to be careful with the words that I say. Franchising is easy compared to the other things I've done. It's still hard work. But yeah, so when you're looking at, if you have a credit score of 680 and above, you're looking at most of these loans are opportunities. If you have bad credit, but you have a lot of cash, there's still opportunity. If you have none of that, you still have friends and family that might want to partner on an opportunity, and you just bring them on a call. Right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, John, does that answer your question? I went off on a rant.
It's all good. Hey, thanks so much.
Yeah, I see your golf.
Oh yeah, and I have looked on Franchise Guy's website already for like golf stuff, but also like there's a coffee golf combination thing going on that's kind of interesting to me. So
I've
yeah,
got a
we're
new
looking
one
forward to our
too
call.
I got a new one too that might be even more interesting for you. It's the fastest growing franchise in America right now.
Wow.
Hmm.
Are you able to say what it is?
No.
Ah.
No, no. But yeah, I've got a meeting with them. I think after the holidays.
Meanwhile, I'm Googling fastest growing franchise in America.
Yeah.
Right.
See who can guess
Yeah.
it first.
Yeah, well, it might be under like sports or something like that. I was just told that it was the fastest. When I see these summary sheets, I'm allowed to say what's on the summary sheets. Maybe I should also check that because there's other, food brands that might just be in a certain sector.
Yeah.
But at least with golf, it's going to be your fastest growing.
Do you have any
Any other
boating
questions?
franchises by any chance?
Any boating?
Yeah.
No, but I've got franchises that can get you super passive, making a lot of money, so you can go boating whenever you want.
Okay.
What about franchises for wide feet? Do you have those?
For wide feet?
Any shoes?
Yeah, I've got a couple franchises that can help you buy those expensive wide feet shoes. Thanks,
No,
Chris.
seriously speaking, I'm interested in a couple of the construction ones. So I'll probably hit you up after offline because I'm kind of I've been thinking about starting my own business. I've done handyman business for some time in the past. I'm thinking about actually doing it the right way, getting an LLC, getting bonded, insured, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then my intent is that at some point I want to have kind of like an overarching, like construction focused company, and then have some DBAs underneath that do different like things.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking to get my general contractor license at some point so that I can really start opening up the things that I'm able to do. And so, yeah, I'm definitely interested in just talking to see if it makes more sense for me to maybe pursue some of these franchise opportunities instead of just kind of start from, you know,
So
myself, if that makes sense.
yeah, when I was doing business coaching, I helped a good buddy of mine now get his contractor license. He was started out doing handyman stuff, and it's been 8 years, and he's still doing all the work himself. If I would have convinced him to get into a franchise, he would have been passive after year 2 and would have been building another one. So I feel bad that I didn't.
Yeah,
But
and
he
that's
is.
exactly
So
why. That's exactly why I'm considering because I'm 39, I'll be 40 in March, and the reality is my time is limited in terms of
yeah,
how long I can actually do the work myself. And so
yeah,
I'm trying to build something that where I can hopefully not have to be the guy doing the work. So yeah, I see that,
yeah,
Kylie. I see that. All right.
yeah. And yeah, I got another buddy who's got his own tree service, does very, very well, but now he's actually looking at buying a franchise tree service so that he can have the systems to get passive faster. And John, yes, you are correct. Uh,
I'm surprised you didn't pull the well, I can neither confirm nor deny.
yeah, I should say that. Yeah. But yeah, I'll be meeting with them after the holidays, so that's obviously going to be available for you.
Yeah, good guess, John. Janelle, go ahead.
Hi, good day, John. Thanks for all the information you provided. I'm interested in the logistics.
The world options?
Yeah, franchise.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've actually got 2 different brands in that same realm. But yeah, essentially, you just hop on a call with me. We'll go over the details, and I'll do a territory check, make sure it's remote, but I still have to do territory checks on these just to make sure. But yeah, absolutely. Give me a hop on the calendar, and I'll make introductions.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Josh, another question. Are a lot of your franchises good for someone who still has to move around a lot? For the next 7, 8 years, I'm still going to be living in a few different places. So
Yeah. So I have a lot of people who will buy franchises for where they're going to be. They'll say, "Hey, I want to do a screen mobile. I want to do this, and I'm going to be in this location for 3 years." They'll buy it and then start it at that location. Even before they move there, they'll go ahead and Chris Prescott, what are you showing us? Oh, thanks. I don't know. I saw some weird. Okay, anyways. But yeah. Man, I just see all these people I already know popping up. I saw anyways. Yeah, you could there's a lot of remote options. If you're staying in a place for a few months, I would wait, but this process can take a few months. Oh, Bailey, you were the one that we were just talking right before this, right? On LinkedIn.
Yeah, we were. I jumped the gun. But I did want to ask you while I have you right now, just kind of where you fit in this opportunity, as like what were we paying you for like aligning us with these businesses and then like just facilitating it for us, and that's like kind of your part.
Yeah, so you don't pay me anything. So if you were to find the franchise on your own, so I get a lot of clients who have been looking for years trying to find the right franchise and doing all the legwork, all the studying, spending hours and hours and hours and then they find me, and then I find them the right one in a month. But yeah, you don't pay me anything. If you found the brand on your own, it would cost the same thing as if you went through me. So I'll facilitate the entire process, and with the connections too. If you need a lawyer to look over the FDD, if you have questions about this or that, so you'll constantly be meeting with me throughout the process just to make sure everything's aligned. Some people will start to rush, and I'll tell them to slow down. This is a big investment. You know, this is the rest of your life. You know, you got to make the right choice. But yeah, that would be my role.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Josh. I was happy seeing you again. I've watched you from the background, but I've never been the one emceeing, so it was nice to talk to you a little bit more.
You too, Kylie. And I want to say, some of you hate this, some of you don't care. All my friends hate it when I say this, but genuinely, thank you for your service. Seriously, I have so much honor and respect for all of you. And again, I know that most of you probably hate this, and I've been asking a lot of you throughout the past months, am I allowed to say this? Will they hate it? I don't care. I honor you and I respect you, and that's why I want to be here to help.
Yeah, we appreciate